It's beginning to look a lot like Psyop season. Rage is in the air. Do you ever get that eerie feeling that every time we react as a society, it seems to make things worse? That every protest, every rant, every march, every movement seems to tighten the grip of the very thing we are trying to loosen? Well, welcome to Psyop season, where the illusion of resistance is manufactured to create consent for control. But now, a quick word from our sponsors. So you got yourself a VPN, but you still feel exposed? Worried that your stellar-fueled, patriotic rant might land you in the gulag? Well, you need Surfshaft Premium, the only VPN that routes your IP address through intelligence agencies' servers. That's right, with Surfshaft Premium, you'll have a dedicated handler, state-backed diplomatic protection, and encrypted chats that go straight into your local intelligence agency. Surf like a VIP. Act like a POI. Surfshaft Premium. You're going to be watched. Why not make it exclusive? Imagine a snake, a boa constrictor, wrapping itself around its prey. The more the prey struggles and attempts to flail in order to survive, the tighter the squeeze becomes. That's how most PSYOPs work, or the advancement of societal control. A triggering event, a stirring and amplifying of emotions, a protest, a march. In this struggle, or attempted struggle, a lot of oxygen is released. And as that oxygen is released and that space is given up, so too then is the grip around the prey.
The snake is very subtly increasing the pressure around my throat.
You see this played out in the sport of jiu-jitsu and other martial arts for that fact. When someone is caught in a choke, the more they struggle, Hulk strength their way out of it, the more chances there are of them landing in a worse position and ultimately tightening the choke on themselves. A skilled practitioner in that sport tries to remain calm, level-headed, and tries to find escapes via frames, leverage, and intelligence. Now, the snake isn't necessarily just a physical constrictor. If we look at Norse mythology, we have the Jörmungandr, the world serpent, massive in size, that wraps itself around the earth. And who is his mortal enemy in those sagas? None other than the god Thor, representing the planet of Mars, action, rage, war. And action after an event is reaction. In those sagas, Thor defeats Jörmungandr at the Battle of Ragnarok, or the World's End. But as he slays the Jörmungandr, he then falls victim to the poison from its fangs. He takes 9 steps before collapsing to the ground, being poisoned. That's the thing about anger. It feels powerful. It feels the right thing to do. The world at large is sick. We are angry. We're fed up and we're not going to take it anymore. But sometimes misdirected anger can land yourself further in a chokehold. Just from an operational point of view, they want the energy of Thor. They want raging because the snake wins when anger is leading. But just like in jiu-jitsu or true strategy, the victory is in calm, clarity, and control. And it's just like those survival videos that you see online. When someone is actually caught up in a boa constrictor who's trying to squeeze the life out of them and take every bit of space before eventually crushing them to death, how do they escape? They often escape with the help of others. It's not the struggling that saves them. It's someone else or others calmly uncoiling the snake from its prey. That's really what resistance looks like now. It's community. It isn't chaos. It's wisdom, not war. Pressured release as opposed to performative rage. Censorship is spreading. Platforms are tightening. But there's still space that is quite difficult to occupy. Our mind, our will, and your local community. We don't always need mass panic. We need quiet activation. When you think about the community centres of yesteryear, they were really the heart of the community resistance. But they're almost extinct. So atomised and dependent on the very system, just choking the shit out of us. But under natural law, you retain your right of your own reason, your own response, your own breath. So don't swing wildly at shadows, because that's how the serpent wins. The real power comes from stillness and strategy, seeing the game before you're in its grip. You don't escape the choke by flailing. You escape by knowing how the squeeze works. And that comes from knowing yourself and your tribe. You're not crazy, you're not broken. The world isn't malfunctioning. It's functioning exactly how it's designed to. But now, so are we.